As a country and as a culture, we should all have an invested interest in the truth, justice, facts, and evidence.
Today, I'll be exposing Blaire White, a transgender YouTuber who has repeatedly lied, spread false information, harmed people's lives and reputations, and has successfully deceived her audience. Most of you know I've been friendly with Blaire White in the past. Back in 2018 and early 2019, we were in the same YouTube community. I was still mostly right-wing, so Blair and I had associated a couple different times. I even visited her apartment with other YouTubers in early 2019. My last encounter with her was in November of 2019 when I reached out to her and asked if she'd be interested in working together to call out the far right. She refused, which is totally her prerogative, but that's the last I'd spoken to Blaire White. Fast forward to the current year, and I have transitioned away from the right, and Blair has become a pedo hunter. Her videos calling out alleged predators performed extremely well on her channel, launching her to nearly 1 million subscribers. But to quote Uncle Ben, with great power comes great responsibility, and sadly, Blaire White has proven to be anything but responsible. You may have heard about the current controversy surrounding Blaire White. Her newest video, published 2 weeks ago, titled "Trans Athlete, I Belong in Women's Sports, Get Over It." In this video, she showed footage of a transgender bodybuilder, Janae Mary Kroc, spreading blatant lies about this trans athlete.
The idea, the concept of Janae competing against biological women is ludicrous. It's almost intentionally ignorant, and anyone who thinks that that is some sort of level playing field is a liar. She's gone back and forth competing with men and women based on I don't know what. I mean, that's just a dick move.
Not only does her title make it sound as if this person is demanding to compete in women's sports, a quick Google search would have revealed that this person has never competed in women's sports, and even after transitioning, she still chose to compete in the men's division. In 2019, she announced she'd be returning to bodybuilding on Instagram. Transgender powerlifter Janae Mary Kroc, born Matthew Raymond, recently announced on Instagram that she will return to competitive bodybuilding and pursue her IFBB pro card in the men's category. Competing in the men's category, she said on Instagram, will not change how she identifies herself, and it says nothing about her beliefs regarding trans athletes and fair competition. She simply feels that competing in the men's category is what's right for her. Keep in mind, this information was available literally years before Blaire White posted her video slandering this trans person for doing absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, she did everything right. But Blair doesn't do research because she cares more about sensationalizing transgender people instead of seeking truth. The athlete Blair lied about even commented on Blair's newest video, explaining that Blair should have done her research before spreading false information. Janae Mary Kroc went on to explain that she's never competed against cis women and has been vocal about the fact she has no intention to. She says that she respects Blair's right to have her own opinion, but spreading misinformation only causes more problems. On Instagram, Janae Mary Kroc explained that due to Blair's fake news, she's received a lot of hate. The athlete even said she reached out to her lawyer due to the defamatory and slanderous claims Blair made in her video. Blair's video has now been up for over 2 weeks, spreading provably blatant lies about this transgender athlete. I find this interesting also because Blair has been vocal in the past about opposing fake news. At the beginning of September, she tweeted this: "Maybe read even a single detail of the story you're using to attack someone? You're clearly the one here who has no idea what you're talking about." Hey Blair, why don't you consider taking your own advice, sis? But hey, maybe this is just a one-time mistake. I've definitely gotten information wrong in the past. Sometimes it just happens. I think we should give people the benefit of the doubt. I don't know if Blair was malicious in spreading false information, or maybe she wasn't smart enough to read. But regardless, the fact she hasn't issued a retraction weeks after spreading provably false information is really sad and disappointing. What's even more disturbing is the fact that this is not a one-time mistake. Blair has a history of making false, slanderous claims and refusing to address them once she's been called out. Last year, she published a video exposing a pedo drag queen reading to children. In this video, she was talking about a predator attending Drag Queen Story Hour. She shows the photo of the alleged predator in her video. However, at the beginning of the video, she played footage from 2017 about an entirely different drag queen, even including them on the thumbnail. Take a look at the original thumbnail. It's pretty obvious what's being implied, but this person is not the predator. They're a random drag queen / kindergarten teacher that Blair decided to imply was a predator based on nothing.
To me, what you're communicating to me is that you don't actually take this crime and these accusations seriously. To me, it's ignorance.
If you aren't sure if this is really a big deal, try and imagine that your face is plastered on the front of a video titled, "I'm a predator, but it's okay because I'm a drag queen." Now, credit where credit is due. After the video received well over 100,000 views, she updated the thumbnail. Still doesn't fix the fact her video opened with footage of an innocent man before cutting to a news broadcast explaining a predator was outed at Drag Queen Story Hour with zero retraction or apology. The implication is still there, and damage has been done. As much as Blaire White hates this, her actions have consequences. This may not be the end of the world though. Again, mistakes happen, and maybe Blair didn't think it through before publishing her video. But again, she's done this before. In 2019, she falsely accused a sexual abuse victim of being a predator, getting the innocent girl loads of hate and accusations that she's a pedophile. Blair called her a predator and a blight on humanity. The girl received so many DMs calling her a pedo, and so much harassment from Blair's careless false information, the girl had to either change or delete her social media entirely.
All accused deserve due process before their lives are ruined. That was a lie. I'm a liar.
This is so incredibly irresponsible. Levying these kinds of accusations are serious and shouldn't be thrown around carelessly, as Blair has repeatedly done. In leaked private DMs, Blair acknowledged her mistake, but refused to issue an apology because the person had sent her 30+ transphobic tweets attacking her looks. She says, "As for the Steph person, I don't care to make some fucking spectacle apologizing. That person sent me 30+ transphobic AF tweets attacking my looks." Ah yes, now we all know Blaire White is famous for never attacking anyone's appearance in a transphobic way.
What are you doing? What's her name? What are you doing, Samantha? Samantha? Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure someone attacking your appearance isn't grounds to not issue an apology after you lied and called that person a predator. This is just so hypocritical because Blair has been a big proponent of waiting for evidence before levying accusations. However, she fails to follow her own advice.
As a culture, we seem so quick to jump onto one side of the fence, and how sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes that side of the fence that we are so quick to jump on doesn't actually have evidence on its side.
So if it hasn't already been established that Blair is trigger happy when it comes to levying accusations, it doesn't even stop there. During her early days on YouTube, Blair published a video titled "Children Transitioning is Child Abuse." Her video was a response to the front cover of National Geographic's featuring a young trans kid on the front of their cover. In this video, Blair heavily implies that the child is only trans because the mom is a trans activist.
Her bio reads that she is a trans activist. So right off the bat, what are the odds that a transgender activist gives birth to a kid who ends up being transgender? Shocking coincidence, right?
But remember, Blair doesn't research, she just lies. Later in this video, she included a screenshot of a tweet from the mom. In that tweet was a video where the mother explained that she only became a trans activist after her child became transgender.
Thank God for Google, because I immediately jumped on the computer and typed in a search. What came back was a very short list of results, but they all pointed to one thing. My child might be transgender. I had never even heard the word transgender before and really didn't know what to think.
So how could a woman be pushing her child to be trans when she didn't even know what transgenderism was? This is easy to find out, but Blair has an agenda to push. She's not interested in seeking truth.
As a country and as a culture, we should all have an invested interest in the truth, justice, facts, and evidence.
The mother received harassment because of Blair's lies, and finally, 3 years later and over 500,000 views later, Blair quietly removed the video, not issuing a retraction or correction of the harmful, false information she spread. I think right now, Blair has two options. She's either going to continue ignoring the backlash, or she'll issue a meaningless, sobbing apology while refusing to actually change. For example, back in 2017, she issued an apology to Riley Dennis, where she said this.
I don't regret any of that, but the incessant push to prove that Riley was not trans, I'm just realizing was probably really hurtful. And I'm aware that there's no way I would have known before the video where Riley actually discloses this information, but I feel like I was still in the wrong for trying to assume what was in someone's heart and mind when there was just simply no way I could have known.
So that's true, yet why does she continue to make these exact same mistakes?
This person claims to be trans, so keep that in mind. Okay. This is someone who is not trans. This is someone who's claiming to be trans by what? Putting on lipstick and then going in the media talking about trans issues as if they know.
In 2018, she posted a video titled, "I Was Wrong." In this video, she admits she didn't do enough research on some of her content, but again, nothing has changed.
I don't think Hillary Clinton is actually the devil, but I regret doing this video. She may have very well been sick, but the evidence I used in this video is reaching at best. It's so flimsy, it's so weak. And I'm surprised more people didn't call me out on it, honestly.
Blair makes these apologies for damage control, not because she's genuine. If she were, these apologies would be accompanied with real change. But instead, Blair has only continued to spread harmful, blatant, false information. From spreading false information about a transgender athlete who did nothing wrong, to falsely accusing people repeatedly of being predators, to lying about parental abuse, Blair has proven time and time again that she is a serial liar with no intention of seeking the truth.
Innocent until proven guilty is a virtue that needs to be upheld in this country. You don't actually care for what the truth is. You're not communicating to me that you actually care about the real victims of these crimes. What you're communicating to me is that you've taken a political stance. I'm a liar.